In this week's video, we're going to be progressing this man TGE by fitting the kitchen, we're going to be fitting the shower into place, and we're going to be doing the second fix electrics and fitting that appliances cupboard into place. So stay tuned, because this is where it gets exciting.
Here we have our electrical unit, which is going in the back of this van. It's going to house all of our electrics and our water supply. So in this section, we're going to have our combi boiler, obviously water pump. We're going to have our battery chargers, inverter, and our servo for monitoring. With these units, trying to keep them all pretty much the same kind of layout just makes it easier for planning. We know where everything's got to go. In this van, we're having the 3 kilowatt multi-plus 2. It's an inverter charger, so this is going to be supplying all our 240 in the vehicle, except when it's on a shore hookup, and it will be connected to the 460 amp lithium leisure battery, which we're fitting into this section over here. A lot of the layout of the van is designed around this, so you'll see once this is in there later on in the video, you'll see exactly how we then position it and get everything else fitting around it and making everything square from this essentially.
So we've got our garage unit in place. That's going to allow Stuart to carry on with the electrics. Now what we do with this unit is we fit the majority of the electrics that we're going to put into the van onto the unit itself while it's sat outside the vehicle. It's a lot easier to fit when it's sat on the bench right in front of you. You can do a much better and much more proficient job. Now that the unit's in place and it's been tweaked to fit, we can then marry that up with the first fix electrics that we put in before. So the cable rails that we had coming out the van, coming out the sidewalls, that have been run to different points in the vehicle, they can now be tied in to those electrical units and all the charging units that we've been fitted into this cupboard. We can also start looking at fitting the heating system, which is going to go in this space here. We've already got the pump and everything in place. This is going to allow us to get the locations for the holes we need to drop through the floor and for the exhaust that we need to put in through the sidewall. You can see that he's already got that in place here just now. This is a bigger unit than normal. It's because it's a longitudinal bed, which means it'll be front to back. So we've got a cupboard at the front, and we're going to leave the shower unit loose for the moment. Usually we start off by pinning that to the vehicle to give us the space to work from. But we've had it in position. We've then taken it back out because it's going to make it easier for us to fit all our plumbing now that we've got this unit in. And once that plumbing's attached, we can then tweak that shower back into its position. Now this is a new basin style that we've got in here. It's a new drop-down style basin, and so it's new plumbing that's going into it as well. It's a different style of tap. We've gone for a mix of a basin tap and a shower, so it's the one piece of equipment. So now we're going to fit our kitchen as well into the space, and this is just a dry fit again, just to make sure that everything's okay before Dusty and the boys do too much more work to it. They're not going to fit all these drawers and get them all perfect, get them all tweaked and get all the gaps looking nice, because if they haven't done the dry fit, then they might put it into the van and realise something's off and something needs to be altered. If we do the dry fit first, it means we can alter things first, and then we can fit all the rest of the kitchen into it, and it means there's less alterations needed at that point. Now you notice there's not actually much to the carcass. There's a lot of sections have been cut out. The reason we do that is just for weight saving. So this is just a backboard that will never be seen. It's going to be hard up against the van, and you're going to have drawers in front of it. So we keep the structural element of it, we keep it strong, but we take out any unwanted material just to keep that weight down, and it keeps it nice and light. We also take out sections in the back here. You'll see we've got done the honeycomb in the back, and that's just because you are going to see this side of the boards. They are going to have the sliding mechanisms for the drawers fitted, so it does need to be structurally sound, and you are going to see it when you pull the drawers out, so you want it to look good as well. But this side will never be seen, and so we can remove as much material as possible from that. We've taken areas out of here, and we've also taken areas out from inside this carcass here, because this is going to be our housing for our fridge. And so once that fridge is in, you're never going to see this area as well, so there's no point in having all that extra material. So we're going to give this a dry fit, make sure everything fits. These units we have fitted lots and lots of times. The layout is fairly standard to what we do, but there has been some tweaks, and so we want to just make sure that everything's okay on it. So for instance, this one has the mosquito mesh going across the door, which means the unit's going to have to be kicked off the wall slightly, and so we want to put this in so we can take some measurements, and then we can take it back through to the workshop and get it finalised. Okay, you ready?
Yep.
So how far does this need to sit off here for your countertop?
We just need to move that in at least 15 mil to allow the drop edge of the worktop.
How are we length at the back?
Length's actually on the bulkhead mark, so
okay.
That's correct.
Okay, yeah, I'm happy with that. Do you want to measure up for the front piece?
Yeah, so I need to scribe that in now. Need a little bit off the height because we've got a little gap there and that needs to sit on the floor. You see it's pinching here.
Yeah, so you're zero down to about 3 mil there.
And the back feet are off the back.
Yeah, I see that.
Floor, so think about 3 mil off there.
Because it's sitting on this ridge.
Yeah. So if it was sitting on there, it would be
It'd probably be alright.
Be good. So it's good to just try it and then you can scribe it. It's
just going to run 3 mil off the bottom.
3 mil off there.
You've got this little corner in here as well. So if you notch that out, 3 mil just from there. And then you've got enough space at the top, so you should be fine. So a few alterations and then we'll get it back into the workshop. We can get the good drawers fitted, get all the front fascia fitted, and then we can bring it back in and get it mounted onto the van.
Okay, now that we've had this unit in position, we've just moved it out so that we can get behind the shower unit. I've just got to put more cables in because obviously the back of the shower, this one is having the through wall extractor fan and some lights. So I just need to make sure that everything that is needed in the shower when it's in position is in, because hopefully once I've moved this back, that'll be the last time it's got to go anywhere. I'm just busy adding a vent in the shower so that the shower will be heated as well. And I then also need to run a duct through the bottom of the shower out the front so that it comes out near the front of the van. Yeah, once that's in, Dusty then can get his kitchen unit in because he test fitted that earlier. And once the kitchen is in, we can then put the bulkhead in and then start screwing everything down.
At this stage of the build, the focus is on getting some of the key practical systems in place. The Max Air dome vent is going in to help with airflow, especially around the bathroom area. Once the opening is cut, the edges are cleaned up, deburred and primed properly, because protecting the metalwork now helps prevent problems later on. If steam and condensation have nowhere to go, it can quickly lead to damp, smells and long-term issues inside the van. So getting the vent installed properly now means the bathroom will be much more usable once the van's finished. We're also fitting the bulkhead which separates the garage area from the main habitation space. That helps keep the living area cleaner, more organised and properly divided from the storage zone. And finally, the Combi D4E boiler system, giving the van both hot water and heating. So once this is all in place, the van starts moving from an empty shell into a proper off-grid camper.
So we are getting to a point now where this van is coming together quite quickly. The shower is finally in position. This unit is also in its final position. Bulkhead is in, everything fits. I'm now literally just busy with finishing off a few little panels. There'll be a door going on there. So now that that's in position, I can finalize all my cable runs. I can get all my connections made. Once those are all done, I'll be able to get in underneath to finish off the water connections. Once those are done, I'll be able to fit the Tambor sliding door, which is coming across here. Now that this is also in place, Dusty can now get his kitchen in place. Once the kitchen's screwed down, he can then start working on the backsplash. This panel will all be wrapped in Alcantara, as well as this panel. Once this is done, he can then fit his overhead gantry. We'll then be able to get the bed frame in. Once that's done, we'll then head underneath to mount the water tank and get all the plumbing sorted under the van.
So it's good to see these units come together, especially once you've seen it in the carcass form, and quite often it doesn't really make sense as to why there's so many holes everywhere and how it's actually going to turn into a kitchen unit. But you can see now it's starting to come together. As you can see, we've got the lights working. We use Cobb LED strip lighting underneath. That's the stuff that looks like one continuous line of light. The LEDs are actually so close together, and then they've got a diffuser over the top of them that actually you don't get the separation that you do in just standard LED strip. We've got our door handles onto our cupboard doors. These are what you call slam catches. Now they're quite nice because they sit flush, so there's nothing to catch or close as you walk past. But you just lift a little handle and they automatically pull back in. But the good thing about these, they're called slam catches because if you were to leave it open, if it was just sat like that and you jumped in the van, took off and the door popped open, when you went the other way around another corner, they just close themselves and lock, which is really nice. You don't have to press a button in or out to actually physically lock it. Now these are all fitted and spaced out now, and we get them as accurate as we can out outside the van, and then once it's fitted, we'll then go around and double check all the gaps, because the floors in the van aren't actually perfectly flat, and so sometimes you'll have a little bit of a camber, and it can be enough just to twist the furniture just a little bit and throw these lines off. So we'll get them as close as we can here, get them in the van, recheck all the measurements, and then there is adjustment. Because we're using drawer carcass systems in these, they do have just screw adjustments, which will lift the door face up, down, left or right, and so you can tweak them side to side as well, which is really nice. Now we've got the fridge fitted into the end of the unit here. Everything fits really nicely, gives you a chance to check that everything's operating properly, everything opens and closes, nothing catches. It also comes with a little drip pipe at the back, and that's for the condensation from the fridge, so that it doesn't build up inside. So when this comes fitted into the van next time, we'll take a mark on the floor, pre-drill that hole, so that when we put this unit in, we can just feed that rubber pipe down and then seal it all up so that you don't get any water ingress into the van. But when you're thinking about the carcassing for the unit, when you're designing it, you do need to design enough space for that to go through, and also enough space for your plugs and things to be easily accessible. You don't want to build a solid carcass and then there's nowhere for them to go, and then you're in the van drilling holes as and where you can. If you can get that done beforehand, then it certainly helps. We get quite a lot of comments on the amount of pocket hole fixings, which are these here, that we use on each carcass. Now the reason for that, I know that it's a wee bit above and beyond, but the reason for that is because we don't glue our carcasses together. I know that a lot of people do, and you'd think it gives you lots of extra kind of rigidity and strength in the piece. It makes it very difficult to make any alterations. So not just for ourselves, but then the customer takes the van away. If they want to change something about it later on, you end up having to smash the thing to pieces to try and get it apart. Whereas with this, we've got lots of fixings there. You just undo them, you can be able to remove pieces, change them over. If you were to scratch or damage a piece, then it would mean that we'd be able to print one off, even just send it out to you, and then you'd be able to fit it and change it at home. You're really just future-proofing things to make life easier for you going forwards. Now, a really good reason to use drawer carcasses rather than building your own is just how easy they are to remove. So they come out, but they only come out so far, which means that they're not going to pop out and be sliding about the van. But then there's little clips underneath. You just pull them to the side, you can lift the drawer out, which means if you need to get access into the bottom there for wiring, for your rubber tube, or even just if there's something that's fallen out one of the drawers and gone down the back, then it's really, really easy. Really good for servicing the van and making alterations. Now, the top drawer, we're going to have to alter. The customer has requested this sink. It's not one that we've fitted before, so it's quite new to us. We've designed it as best we could before we actually had it, but they actually had the wrong dimensions on the website, which is annoying, so we just had to make a small alteration and pull it out. It's quite a deep sink, and so the drawer fits nicely above. We've got a nice gap under there, but the bottle trap is going to encroach into the drawer here. And so rather than having the standard rectangular drawer space, we're going to have to make some alterations, chop a section out of the back here to accommodate for that bottle trap, and possibly a section out the base as well. And then we'll build an extra piece of carcassing inside here to maximise the amount of drawer space. It's still usable, but just to make sure that there's enough clearance to go around about the bottle trap. And an extra feature that this sink has is it's got a drop down tap. So the tap is actually, rather than it just being a kind of fold up, it's a solid tube tap, but you lift it up and you can push it back down and then put the lid back onto the sink when you want to use it as a chopping board, or when you just want to get the sink out of the way. Once we've done the changes that we're making for the alterations for the sink, this piece is now finished, so it's going to go into the van and be fitted for the last time, and now that leaves Dusty to go onto the countertop, which is going to be made out of solid surface. It's going to match another piece on the other side of the van, which is going to be nice, but that can all be done inside the van. It's always good to get one ticked off, and this can now go on and help fill out that space. So that's the kitchen in place now. What that allows us to do is mark up this panel here that's uncovered. We can then take this out, carpet it in Alcantara, and then we can do our splashback on the back here now that we have these measurements. Once that panel's back in place, that will then allow us to do our top cupboards here, and then that's this side of the van, absolutely complete. He's currently making the worktop as we speak. He's just been in to take some measurements, so that will be going on shortly. So in this video, you've seen us do our garage units. We've fit all of our electrics. We've fit the kitchen, we've fit the bathroom. this van's pretty much coming to a close. We're hoping to finish this in the next week to 10 days. So if you've liked this content, if you've liked watching the progress of this van and you want to see more, you want to see it get to the end, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like and leave a comment as well. Tell us what you think of the build so far, and don't forget to watch out for the van tour as well. That'll be coming up in a few weeks. Thanks for watching.